Good day to one and all. I am Zuhra Moulana here to report this week's news. International news. Lukashenko warns Belarus will join Russia in war if attacked. Military cooperation between Russia and Belarus has been on the increase, with joint drills and information of a joint military grouping. But so far, the Belarusian leader has avoided sending his troops into Ukraine to fight alongside Russian forces. Having facilitated the Russian invasion of Ukraine for over a year, the Belarusian leader now claims he can help negotiate peace. Iran protesters marched in several cities in mourning for executed men. Iran has seen its most widespread anti-government protests in weeks after small crowds marched overnight in Tehran and a number of other cities. Videos showed people chanting, "Women, life, freedom, and death to Khomeini," a reference to the supreme leader. It followed calls to mark the 40th day of mourning for two men executed in protest-related charges, Mohammad Mehdi Karami and Saeed Mohammad Hosseini. The UN said they had faced unfair trial based on forced confessions. So far, at least 529 protesters have been killed and almost 20,000 detained, according to the human rights activist news agency. 4 protesters have been hanged since December, while 107 others have reportedly been sentenced to death or charged with capital offences. Cyclone Gabriel, thousands yet to be contacted after New Zealand storm. More than 4,500 people have yet to be contacted after Cyclone Gabriel hit on Monday, causing significant flooding and landslides across the North Island. Many cities and towns are also without power or clean drinking water. A national state of emergency has been declared, only the third in New Zealand's history. The storm damaged hundreds of mobile phone masts, and Mr. Hipkins said many of the thousands of uncontactable people are likely to be found alive and well. But he warned that people need to brace themselves for more fatalities. 10,000s of people are also estimated to be displaced. National news. Modi government caught between the foreign hand and the foreign handshake. In a year when foreign policy and India's place in the changing world are expected to drive the BJP story and its poll narrative, a few events this week show the tightrope walk the BJP is doing. Prime Minister Modi spoke to both the US President Joe Biden and the French President Emmanuel Macron, signaling unambiguously that India is a market the world cannot ignore. And while it buys cheap oil from Vladimir Putin's Russia, it can buy planes from Putin's bitter rivals. Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar's remark on what he called doctored narratives by the Western media to run down a rising India and the need to counter that. A signed editorial in the RSS-linked journal has alleged that the higher judiciary is being used as a tool by the anti-India forces. What were George Soros' comments and how has India replied? Modi is silent on the subject, but he will have to answer questions from foreign investors and in Parliament, said Soros, according to a report by Bloomberg. This will significantly weaken Modi's stranglehold on India's federal government and open the door to push for much-needed institutional reforms. I may be naive, but I expect a democratic revival in India, the billionaire investor said ahead of the Munchen Security Conference. The Bharatiya Janata Party has already hit back at Soros' remarks. Union Minister Smriti Irani called Soros' remarks a declaration to destroy India's democratic process and added war is being mounted against India's Prime Minister Modi, standing between it and the country's interests. The government bans Jammu and Kashmir Khazani Force for terror attacks. The centre on Friday banned Jammu and Kashmir Khazani Force, which has been formed with cadres from terrorist organizations such as Lashkar-e-Taiba and Jaish-e-Mohammed. According to a notification issued by the Union Home Ministry, the JKGF has been involved in infiltration bids, narcotics, and weapon smuggling, carrying out terror attacks in Jammu and Kashmir, and regularly issuing threats to security forces. The outfit has been using various social media platforms to incite the people of Jammu and Kashmir to join terrorist outfits against India. In exercise of the power conferred by the Unlawful Activities Act, the JKGF has been designated as a terror group. The the notification stated. This is Zuhra Moulana signing off. Stay tuned for the next World This Week with a new host. Thank you.